On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to another riveting, exciting,
Hey, what are you doing?
entertaining installment of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. With the insolent Snowman, I am Cole Johnson. Good morning.
Good morning.
I said I wasn't allowed to do that. See?
No, you weren't. This is you I'm talking to here. How you doing this morning, partner?
Doing good. Doing good. How about you?
I got a venti mocha. I got an iced tea. I'm doing great.
Yeah, and
So-
for those who are listening, my partner is on location at a Starbucks near him.
Yep, Edinburgh, Indiana is where I am this morning.
Yes, and I am back home. It feels good to be back
Yes.
home. It was great to visit the in-law, but it feels even better to be back home.
Doesn't it feel good though?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Get my sound adjuster here. All right, let's get down to business.
All
We like
right.
to do a little something to open the show. We like to call the whip around, presented by Fanatics.
There was this little thing that the NBA likes to host around mid-April. Oh yeah, the playoffs. Yes, it began this weekend.
Playoffs?
Yes, Jim Morrison. Playoffs.
You kidding me? Playoffs?
Well, we will start with the East number one seed and actually the number one seed overall in the tournament, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Are in trouble.
They hosted the Heat. But it looks like trouble in paradise is already at hand.
Yep.
They went down 130 to 117, and more importantly, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the all-world everything, went down, hitting his tailbone in the first quarter. Tried to play it in the second quarter, but just wasn't happening, and it's looking like it is dicey for the Bucks.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
it's looking like he may go in game 2. They're going to make a game time decision, but I saw the fall,
yeah,
and it was not pretty.
yeah.
Anytime you fall like that, you've played sports, as have I.
Mhm.
Anytime you fall like that, you're going to shake for a while.
Yeah, you are. You are. And he wasn't the only one who suffered a fall. Tyler Hero on the other side, he suffered a fall and broke his hand. So it's already been, I guess you say, a mass unit already. Like those who are under our age. Google it. But the star of that game was Jimmy Butler, 35 points, 11 dimes, 5 boards. And he paced 6 people who went in double figures in points. 130-117 victory over the Bucks. And this looks like a 180 from their home loss to the Hawks Monday. I have to say that it looks like somebody lit a fire on a day behind because the offense just kept clicking. And unfortunately, the Bucks, they just were all out of scores other than Chris Middleton, who scored 33. And who chipped there with 21 on the bench. The team just looked all out of sorts.
I've never seen a Bucks team look that far out of sorts since Giannis became a part of the team.
Yeah,
I've never seen them that far out of sorts.
yeah. And this is why I say with the NFL definitely, but the NBA definitely plays a role. You could tell when a player is valuable when the presence is not on, in this case, the court. And the most valuable player in the series is off, and the team looks like a different version of who they were. Hopefully, they can rebound. Game 2 is Wednesday night in Milwaukee. Well, hopefully, they can bounce back and rebound. A team that I don't even have a hope of rebounding or bouncing back or doing anything of that sort, that would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, they creeped in as number 8 seed, but the Nuggets waited for them in the Mile High City, and they gave them a 29-point butt whooping. 109-80. And here's the scary part. Nikola Jokic, his stat line was 13 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, Cole, wait a minute. That's not a scary stat line. No, that's not. But what it is scary is when you have Murray with 24, Porter with 18, Gordon with 13, and Caldwell Pope with 15. All starters went double digits, double figures. The load was lightened considerably from Jokic, and the team just coasted to a yawner of a victory. In fact, this game was in hand early third quarter.
When you have when you have that balanced scoring, and I got into a little tete-a-tete with some wannabe basketball fans and wannabe basketball analysts. I'll talk to you about that off the air because I'm not going to waste any time here.
Mm-hmm.
When you have everything clicking as a team, and I just cussed,
Mm-hmm.
when you have everything clicking as a team, then no one else stands a chance against you, period.
No.
And the Minnesota Timberwolves are about to get their asses handed to them 3 more times.
Yeah.
They have no shot in this series. They crept in,
No. Yeah.
and if the Joker only drops, what'd you say, 13 points?
13 points. That's all he dropped.
Yeah. When the Joker drops only 13 points on you and everybody else beats you, I'm sorry to say, Minnesota, Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, and all, that team is going to get dismantled by the Nuggets, and it's also going to get dismantled by management over the summer. Watch this.
I agree. They can't have efforts. Well, Gobert's going to score 8 points. That's his steez. But Karl Anthony Towns, you cannot score 11 points and expect your team to win at all. That's a problem. And yes, Anthony Edwards, congratulations. You scored 18 points. You need to do that more often. Hopefully you will. But game 2 is Wednesday night. You can't play this way Wednesday, or otherwise you'll be going back to Twin Cities down 0-2, hoping that you can get one back in Minneapolis. Ugh. The Shadow Realm made an appearance. They did good in the first half, but then they were like magicians and disappeared in the second half. 121-101 was the final score.
Can we pass on this series? I'll do a Snowman's take on that. Can we just pass on this game because go on.
I'll go quick with the particulars. So you had on the losing side, Mikal Bridges, who had a wonderful game in his hometown, 30 points, 5 rebounds, gave you a dime. That pretty much was it for them. You had people who were saying that James Harden made a comeback with 23 points and 13 assists. Joel Embiid, he scored 26 points, only pulled down 5 boards. Tobias Harris with 21 points. Good effort. This started the playoffs. And,
see, those 5 rebounds by Joel Embiid present a problem to me.
Well, it presents a huge problem to me.
It presents a problem. It presents a problem to me.
Yes, to me,
let's do that.
You can't have PJ Tucker be your main rebound guy with 7 assists. But
Let's
yeah,
let's do that one. Let's dive into that one deeper next segment because I have some words for the Philadelphia 76ers.
well, game 2 of this will be tonight. Hopefully, the Nets play much better than they did. I highly doubt the Sixers will play much worse, but you never know. And now we get to the Hawks Celtics 112-99, and the game wasn't even that close.
Man, they remember the Celtics of '86
Mm-hmm.
where they would just blow people out in the Boston Garden
And it looked like it was.
and it looked like it was a practice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to Atlanta. That's what's going to happen to Atlanta 3 more times.
And
I hate to call a sweep in that series, but
because I like
Atlanta's going to get swept.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray, he led the way with 24 points. The enigmatic Trae Young, 5 of 18 from the field, 16 points for him. All starters did go double figures. No participation from the bench. However, you can have Jaylen Brown lead with 29, with White pacing away with 24 and Tatum with 25.
And they both had double-digit rebounds.
Right,
10 and 11, I believe the numbers were.
Yes, and Brown had 12 boards. Tatum had 11.
Okay, 12 and 11. Okay.
You cannot allow that many points from 3 people and not put anything from the bench or have someone outpace it with more scoring. Game 2 is tomorrow night. I do not like the Hawks' chances at all.
Go
ahead, sir.
Atlanta, why did you hire Quinn Snyder? That's my only question. Final note on the whip around.
Okay, well, I'll save this for another time. The Suns, the Clippers. Other than Russell Westbrook talking ill to the to a Suns fan, it was a horrible showing for the Suns. Yes, they had a wonderful second quarter, but they started off slow. They ended off pathetic. They took a 115-110. Oh, Lord. Why did I do it?
Do it.
They took a 115-110. At home. That's one of 3 teams who took an L on Sunday. We'll of course mention the others later. Pacing the way is Kawhi Leonard with 38. Gordon did with 19. Yeah, Zubac with 12. Bench scoring was key for the Clippers, led by Powell. Now for the Suns, you had a returning Kevin Durant. Decent stat line: 27 points, 9 rebounds, 9 boards, 11 dimes. You had Booker with 26 points, but you had the point guard only give you 7 points with 11 boards and 10 dimes. Here's the problem: you cannot have your point guard. And I do have respect for Chris Paul. You cannot have your point guard be your leading rebound guy. That's the problem.
That's the problem the Suns have had all year, rebounding.
DeAndre Ayton, where are you, sir? Wake up. I know you could probably say, well, I was there, 18 points. You're a board person. You're the guy who's supposed to be a rim protector and get the boards. No. You got to play much better than that. And the bench definitely has to play much better than that.
The bench was empty.
Yeah, they did this.
The bench for the Suns was empty. I changed my mind about my Snowman's take. I have a few words about the playoffs in general. I'll save that for next segment because
Mm-hmm. All right. One more to make one of our brothers happy. And that is the New York Knicks. They go to Cleveland. They stared down the Cavaliers. They did not have the greatest offense.
Beat their ass.
But they met not having a good offensive flowing for them with playing wonderful stout defense. they get a 101-97 victory over the Cavaliers. Look, what can I say about Jalen Brunson? I mean, the dude is a stud. Dude was a stud last year in the playoffs. He's proved to be a stud already. 27 points, led the way for the Knicks. You had Randall, who was licking some wounds, came back, did a pretty good job. 19 points and 10 boards. Off the bench, you had Hart with 17 points and 10 boards. And you had decent contributions elsewhere for the Knicks. But basically, it was those three. Of course, for the Cavaliers, it was Donovan Mitchell, and more Donovan Mitchell. 38 points, 5 boards, 8 dimes. You had Garland Payson with 17 points. You had the Fro with 14, or Jared Allen. That was pretty much it for them. And if that is going to be the case, the Cavs are going to have a long 3 other games because they're going to go home early in the sweep because they got to not have Donovan Mitchell carry all of the load.
It's going to start in Cleveland. It's going to end in New York because the Cleveland Cadavers have no shot against the New York Knicks. I'm sorry. People want to call it an upset. I don't, because the Knicks are a far better and far superior team than the Cavaliers, period. It will end in New York.
It won't be an upset. And if the Cavaliers play this way Tuesday night, because tomorrow night is when they play game 2, same day with the Clippers and the Suns, if they come up with this performance Tuesday night, yes. Well, by the time we do next Monday's version of Snowman in the Morning, we'll be talking about this in the week. No question about it.
Yep. That's our whip around presented by Fanatics, y'all. Let's greet the Fanatics feedback zone. We got the Knicks fan in the house, stuck in my mind, a.k.a. Brother Wise. The Hawk TV coming to us from Maryland, from the DMV area. Of course, we got my buddy Victor Locke from my hometown of Chicago, repeating the line of Iron Eagle. The Fro just got the king. I love it. AB Media coming to us from Indianapolis, Indiana. Boy, we got a whole bunch of stuff leading up to the draft later today on the Brian Snow Show. Mike Debate will join me, and we'll break down the needs of the NFC. And tomorrow we'll break down the needs of the AFC, and you'll see that in parts throughout the course of the week. Sick Diggy joining us from Norway. And a welcome to those of you in Atlanta, coming to you from on WQEE 99.1 FM and WDJL in Huntsville, Alabama. And also a welcome to those of you on WIRU in my hometown of Chicago, as well as KSRN in Phoenix, Arizona. We got a break, and then we got some coffee. We continue on. And later on in this episode, I have some things to say about the NBA that a lot of modern fans will not like. I not only am going to say them here, I'm going to say them on my afternoon show as well. Let's take a break. When we come back, I'll express some of those thoughts, and then Ryan McCorpy will join us. This is Snowman in the Morning, coming to you live from Edinburgh, Indiana, as well as the Tennessee Whiskey Studios. We're back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Let's Talk Monday.
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Because we take this job so serious. I'm sorry. I did that all wrong. My bad.
Do it right, will you?
Oh, God. Brother guest, I'm so glad, Ryan, that you here on Coffee with McCarthy. I love you.
Oh, Lord, you beat me to it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. We will welcome Brother Guest, a.k.a. Ryan McCarthy, later on.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Back with it at the Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I'm Cole, joined by the Snowman, and there were two games that we did not touch on, and we did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
One game features a sore subject, and the other features one near and dear to his heart. And I will actually say it actually was the game of the weekend of all 8.
I told you.
Oh,
that's the series. I told everybody. You believed me. Victor believed me. And the folks who actually know the NBA know that the series to watch is in Northern California. The Kings and the Warriors are going to play all 7. If anything is an indication what happened Saturday night in Sacramento, and bravo to the Sacramento Kings. Okay? I have a soft spot for them as well as the Golden State Warriors, the defending champions. Boy, both of those teams put on a performance, and it's only game 1. It's only game 1.
126-123 was the final score. It was nip and tuck, back and forth, almost the whole entire way. The good performances all around, really. I mean, where do you start? I mean, okay, for the defending champs, you have Curry, who ended the night with 30 and came this close of making a miraculous 3 to send the game into overtime.
Mm-hmm. It was online, too.
Yeah.
When he let that shot go in a ridiculous form, it was online.
It was on. Just missed it.
Why it says Kings in 6, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't
because the Kings are playing wonderful basketball right now. Where do you start with them? De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, Thompson with 21 off the bench. You had Wiggins, and congratulations on you coming back, man. From what you had to deal with.
I love it. If there's going to be a difference, going to be a difference for Golden State to take this series, it's Andrew Wiggins. You saw how rusty he was, and yet he played dynamite.
He played wonderfully in that game.
He played 28 points.
No,
28 minutes? 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, 20 minutes. He had 17 points in that game, which was good for him. Poole off the bench also with 17.
Oh, man.
Kuminga and Gary Payton II, which to me, I think that was a great pick back up, getting him back on the team.
They're going to be, listen, GP2 and Wiggins are both rusty because Wiggins didn't play for a couple of months and GP2 was in Portland. You know, they're going to be, they were rusty. Yeah, and you saw it in game one. I guarantee you they'll be ready tonight for game two in Sacramento. And boy, you want to talk about a crowd that was into it.
Yeah,
You want
they
to
were
talk about a crowd that was into it. You thought you were back at old Arco Arena with how loud that joint was.
Golden One Center was lit for real. Yes,
Man.
and yes,
And they put that game at 8:30, and don't I won't go
but
there
yeah,
yet.
I'll go
I won't
quickly.
go there yet.
But look, the Kings, the fact that they won without Sabonis having a
Yeah.
great game, 12 points, he did pull down 16 boards, 5 of 17 from the field.
Well, that's the key for Sacramento.
Yeah.
He's the key. He's one of the biggest keys for Sacramento. 16 rebounds. And that is I outlined it all year long for those of you fools that don't think I am critical of the Golden State Warriors. The one area where the Warriors have suffered, the one area where the Warriors have lacked was rebounding, because in the second half, even though they took a 10-point lead, there were so many possessions in between the time they led 86-76 and the time the Kings regained the lead at the end of the third quarter. 4 consecutive trips were one and done for Golden State. They got bad shots, they ran a bad offense, and it's unlike the Warriors to run the shot clock all the way down, but the Kings defense ratcheted up when they were down by 10, and that got Sacramento back into the ball game, and that got Sacramento the win.
Yeah, that run in late third was really what set the rest of the game up. Yeah,
and
that was a remarkable run.
It's going to be one hell of a series.
Yes,
I've always said, to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. Well, the Kings got round one, and I want to launch into another subject. I don't have anything to say about the game in Memphis. I got no words for that.
All right, we'll pick this one back
for many
up.
reasons.
All right, we'll pick this back up when we have our visit after our visit with our brother. But for now,
this coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out.
Brother Guest joins us on Coffee with McCarthy. I'm sorry. Ron McCarthy of Nook Redemption Choir joins us as he always does every Monday at the bottom of our number one. Good morning, sir. And what is the brew this morning?
The brew this morning is Invader Coffee Outlander blend. It's with a little bit of cinnamon. I put some cinnamon in my grinds before I put the water in, and it's just right.
Invader, that's the official coffee of Nook Redemption Choir. So
and it's the official coffee of this segment, Coffee with McCarthy. And thank you to Ryan for that sponsored lead, and also thank you to Invader Coffee for hooking us up this morning. All right, let's change gears with Mr. McCarthy in tow with us this morning. I'm going to ask one simple question that's going to make McCarthy grow an afro. How much longer are we waiting for a certain trade to happen? Because I'm not saying any names. I'm not saying any situations. You already know the situation. What the hell? Cole, don't put that in my head, which you already did, and I think that's what he needs to do. What the hell is going on?
I have a personal moratorium. No more Mr. Ayahuasca talk until a trade actually happens.
Ayahuasca, the fool gonna retire. Yes, that's where he needs to be. That's where he's best at. He needs to be a permanent fixture on the Pat McAfee show. He can pick all the toes he wants. He can talk all the crap he wants, but he needs to not ever set foot on a football field, because he's going to poison any team that he's the quarterback of, whether it be the Packers or your beloved Jets, sir. I'm sorry. I'll get off my soapbox. Your thoughts, Mr. McCarthy?
Actually, that's not a soapbox. That's actually a podium.
That's a crate.
Truth. That's a podium of truth. That's. Listen, Ayahuasca can't win in the playoffs. Just as the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, for 4.
If Aaron Rodgers is so damn great, excuse me. If Aaron Rodgers is so damn great, and I'm sick of people coming at me, and I told this to Ryan a couple of weeks ago when I was in studio. If Aaron Rodgers is so damn great, why? And I want McCarthy's thoughts first before I get to Cole, and I want you guys in the chat to light it up when I ask this question. If Aaron Rodgers is so damn great and supposed to be that bad man,
right?
Why couldn't he beat the 49ers? 0 for 4 against San Francisco. Ryan, the man from No Credentials Required, who show I absolutely love and would love to air on my network, and I'm putting that schedule together. Talk to me. What the blank happens when Aaron Rodgers sees San Francisco? Let's start there.
But they won't see San Francisco this year.
I know. I'm talking about in the playoffs. I'm talking about in the playoffs, because I never touched this subject, even when it happened. I just explained the game. Now talk to me, man. Give me your thoughts.
The 49ers know how to figure him out. They know how to. They have effective corners. They have great linebackers who can shut down the run. So if they make the offense if they make any offense one-dimensional, this isn't just for the Packers. It's just for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If they can make you one-dimensional, they can beat you. It's the same way with the Patriots. The Patriots do the same exact thing. They'll shut down your run. They'll make you. And if the quarterback is terrible, like a certain quarterback who I won't name from BYU,
well, Zach Wilson.
But
Zach Wilson.
If a team knows how to make a quarterback one-dimensional, make your offense one-dimensional, then you have a great chance of beating them.
That's true.
And that last game last year,
really?
Where Frisco played Green Bay in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. You know, Aaron Rodgers took him right down the field on the first drive of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Led 7-0, and that should have been an indication of a blowout. I even conceded that.
Or at least the Packers controlling the game. Yeah.
Exactly. I conceded that. My wife came up to me, and y'all know my wife's a Colts fan, but she was watching the game with me, and I saw Aaron Rodgers just march down the field on that number one defense. And I said, damn, this is going to be a long game. My wife stopped me and said, these are your 49ers. They'll figure it out. And
you weren't wrong. It was a long game, but just was.
It turned out right too. The wife knows me, okay? And that blocked field goal at the end of the first half of that game, the blocked field goal by San Francisco at the end of the first half, I screamed out loud, and my wife gave me a hug and said, "Told you." And she said, "Now watch." She said, "Now watch this." Yep. And then a block punt, and then Robbie Gould walks us off. But this ties into Aaron Rodgers saying he wants to play with the Jets. I pray to God that Cole's prediction of retirement comes true, because Aaron Rodgers is a cancer. He's always been a cancer. He only has one Super Bowl win, and
one Super Bowl appearance,
which is pathetic. Which is absolutely freaking pathetic for someone who was supposed to be Hall of Fame caliber, which he's not, in my opinion.
And people have glossed the best to ever play the position.
Yep. They put they put him, let me respect Mr. McCarthy here. They put him and Dak Prescott over, I don't know, Drew Brees, over. I just don't get it.
I've had some arguments over Rodgers being better than Brees. I've had arguments over.
I've had arguments to that too.
The only point that they would bring up is, well, Rodgers won 4 MVPs. How many MVPs Brees won? Oh, I could care less. They both won a Super Bowl.
Listen,
in one appearance. That's
and
all that
Breeze
matters.
did it in a better fashion. In a better fashion in the second half in Miami against the Colts. In a Super Bowl they weren't even supposed to win. Go for it.
This moment with This moment with Brother Kiss is brought to you by Aaron Rodgers Vapes, providing you with that championship flavor all year round, except in January.
While we're talking draft needs, while we're talking Jets needs with Ryan McCoffey, joins us courtesy of Invader Coffee. Okay. You stop. Thank you.
I need some of that. I need some of that Nurse Namaste incense because I'm feeling kind of blue like Cubs fans.
Man, Nurse Namaste is a bit. If y'all know who Nurse Namaste is, she's a very, very dear friend. Serious enough though, she's battling cancer as well. So let's keep her in our prayers that she pulls through.
Yeah,
I had to talk with her. I had to talk with her yesterday, and she's got the same fighting spirit that I have. You know, when I went through it last year. So, she made me a promise. She made me a promise that when she pulls through treatment and she's cancer free, she's coming back.
Oh well, awesome. It's already a lot. She cancer free.
Yep.
It's a matter of when, not if.
It's a matter of when. So when all that happens, she is coming back. She'll be here, and there will be no holds barred. I'm just warning y'all right now. There will be no holds barred.
So, guys, you know what starts tonight?
Let me see.
NHL playoff.
No. I know what starts tonight. Raw. No. Another slate of Major League Baseball games.
No.
Yes, I know. Stanley Cup playoffs.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
National Hockey League.
The most wonderful sports time of the year. Oh, the best time of the year.
You know what's so funny about that though? I was talking with a friend of ours, actually talking with a few of my fellow execs over.
Cole, you are a damn fool. What? Y'all hear what's playing in the background?
That music has calmed this savage beast. Let's just put it
Agreed.
Oh man. Agreed. But yes, I was talking to a few of my fellow execs over at the BS3 network.
Yeah.
And they actually were at the Atlanta
in Dallas. Yep.
Yeah, when they were watching the Blues last week, and there was like a 1-0 game, and the goal happened sometime in the third period. And I said to my man Ivan, I said, bro, you just got a taste of NHL Stanley Cup playoff action a week early. But I guarantee you, bro, when it does come, because I witnessed it 6 years ago here in Nashville with the Predators, the city is going to go crazy. And don't be surprised if American Airlines Center is clad with nothing but emerald green.
Wait, Cole, did you just say black men went to a hockey game? We're talking. Yes. Black men are talking hockey. Dun dun dun.
Let me go one step further. Let me go one step further.
Okay.
This black man has been a fan of hockey since 1985, when the Edmonton Oilers were in the midst of their dynasty. You know, Wayne Gretzky, Yari Curry, and the rest of those guys. I've been a Blackhawks fan since '86 when I got introduced to Doug Wilson and those guys. Marty Bannerman, Doug Wilson, Dennis Savard, and those guys. I've been a fan since '85, '86. I had the thrill of a lifetime 8 years ago in June, being in the United Center when the Hawks beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-0 and clinched the Stanley Cup in Game 6 at home.
Yeah, there's nothing like winning. There's nothing like winning at home. No question about that. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The preceding whip around segment was brought to you by Chapman's Rawhide Chap Belts. The belt's ideal for chapping that hide raw. Chapman's rawhide belts.
If it's an Araldus Chapman rawhide belt, it's gonna go outside the strike zone. You're welcome, internet.
You're not speaking as a salty Yankees fan, are you, Ryan?
No, what could be salty about me being a Yankees fan? Isn't salt?
And my next forward.
Make everything better.
Wait
though?
a minute. Wait a minute. Let me throw a little more salt in the wound, and all I got to say is thank you, Jose Altuve.
I remember seeing Jose Altuve playing Tri-City up here in upstate New York. He was here for a short spell.
Yep, he was.
All right, so
NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. If y'all haven't been to an NHL game, I recommend it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because any hockey game.
Please attend one.
I've covered high school hockey. I've covered college hockey with Loyola. I covered high school hockey with the Chicago Catholic League. And as I said, I got the thrill of a lifetime. You know what? I will give y'all a thrill right now when I combine the Stanley Cup playoffs with a certain experience.
I knew it.
Because I can't wait for Tuesday to tell that story. I got to do it now with our hockey brother guest in tow. Give it to me.
Oh, good Lord. Well, I know I should not have played that music.
Should have played the music.
I knew it. Here we go. An NHL Stanley Cup hockey version. Stanley Cup hockey version of.
Brought to you by Nurse Anastasia Incense.
Thank you, Ryan, for that. And I'm hoping Cole visualizes that one. All right, here's what happened. I was going through hell in a handbasket with the woman I was dating at the time. And I'm trying to figure out a way to get away from her as well as the roommate because the roommate invited me to a Cubs game.
Oh, that's
I looked him in the face and I told him, wait. Give me Bush and Bullwinkle when I complete this. The roommate invited me to a Cubs game and my response to him was simple.
Oh, Lord, really?
Sing it.
You hit him with this.
Hell no. To the no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were in church.
Begged me. Listen, y'all. He begged me to go to a Cubs game with him. I said, I'm not setting foot in Raggedy Field ever again. The last time I was there was 2007 for a high school game. I'm not going back. He said, well, you're going to miss a lot of fun. Miss a lot of fun what? Watching the Cubs lose? I can do that in front of a television. I can do that in front of a television.
A special cut.
And then I got a call from a very dear friend who covers the Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Snowman, I got a present for you. I said, talk to me. He said, at will call is a ticket for you to be in the press box for Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, press box will call ticket. Wow. Okay. And not just a regular game. Wow.
I took off.
A Stanley Cup final game. Wow.
Stanley Cup clincher. Possible Stanley Cup clincher.
Possible one, yeah.
I took off. And the roommate said, where are you going? I got to go do a game.
Who'd want to refuse those tickets?
And he says, and you're going to skip out on a Cubs game for that? Hell yeah. So I took off. And
from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled The Cubs Suck.
I would have given away a certain part of my. I would have given away one of my reflective orders for that kind of money, for that kind of ticket.
With one of the choir members saying,
"You fool!" gambling. So I took off. I got in my car, took off for the United Center, and I'm trying to think ahead because it was a 40-minute drive. It was a 1-hour drive from LaPorte, Indiana to the United Center. And I got the hell out of LaPorte, Indiana as fast as I could before she asked me to join her. And I gave her Bushy Bullwinkle when I said,
oh, good Lord. Okay. Quote.
hell to the no. I'm not coming there tonight. I have to go cover a game.
Close quote.
Yep.
If he were to sing it, it would sound like,
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Listen.
Take that, you heifer.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
I thought it was in church.
Man, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry about that, because I was singing that and switching the words while I was driving to the United Center. 8 p.m. face-off. The legendary Doc Emmerich on the NBC call. John Weideman on the WGN call. Hell yeah, I'm taking that deal. Got down to the United Center. Found a place to park, but then was pulled. Then was taken to the media section to park.
Nice.
I know that I'm being treated like a king for a hockey game. And yes, a black man loves hockey. I certainly do. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Gives us his best Colin McCalkin, aka Home Alone impression.
Home Alone.
Yep, Macaulay Culkin. Got there, got situated, got food, and ready to roll. And we roll into the second period. Dynamite game by both teams. And then Duncan Keith scored on a rebound shot. Made it 1-0. We all looked at each other and said, game, set, match. Because as well as Tampa Bay was playing, the Blackhawks defense was sensational. Sensational.
And their goaltender
in that game.
was sensational too. The Crow.
Corey Crawford, my gracious. Number 50, who played 11 seasons with the Blackhawks. If there was ever a goalie I would compare him to, it would be Eddie the Eagle Belfour, a Hall of Famer. Corey Crawford was absolutely sensational in net. And then Patrick Kane smacked one home in the third period. And the anticipation grew. It got louder and louder and louder and counted down the final seconds. And then the horn sounded, the foghorn sounded, the celebration was on. I got a couple of interviews with Patrick Kane, got a piece from Corey Crawford. And then my phone blew up while I was driving back, and I didn't know where to go. Do I go to Glenview and deal with the roommate, or do I go to LaPorte and deal with an angry heifer?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Let me change that. Do I go to Glenview and deal with one thirsty bitch, or do I go to LaPorte and deal with another thirsty bitch?
Mm-hmm.
My answer was simple. Option C, neither. I went and hid in Michigan City, which actually turned out the best move, because I got a call at the last minute from a friend of mine in Chicago. Why don't you celebrate with us? We got a hotel. I turned around and I went back to Chicago.
Oh, nice.
And stayed there for 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
With my phone blowing up from the roommate and from the thirsty heifer.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cole Johnson, for that phrase.
No problem.
Celebrated the Stanley Cup win at Grant Park. And when I finally answered the thirsty heifer, her first question, where have you been? None of your damn business.
That music just came at the right time.
It did.
Dun 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 dun.
Thank you, Cole.
Mhm.
I answered it, none of your damn business. At that point in time, the roommate called me. Where are you? None of your damn business. When I finally got back with the thirsty helper
Mhm.
in LaPorte, Indiana,
Mhm.
she tried every trick in the book to make me feel bad, to make me feel low, to make me feel all kinds of stuff. And all I'm remembering is the time I had at the United Center with 22,800 of my best friends celebrating a Stanley Cup win.
Oh, so basically, you're saying that her presence took and.
Just like any team that will face Ryan's New Jersey. Who are the Devils playing in the playoffs this year? Who do they have?
The first round, they get the Rangers.
Who has home ice?
Oh,
Devils.
Lord. Devils.
Yep. The Devils have home ice.
But they're a better
then
team
the
on
Rangers.
the road.
Say again.
But they're a better team on the road.
Oh, then the Rangers will take 4 consecutive big, fat, spectacular.
I know
Wise
that'll
will
make
love
Wise happy. Yeah, I know that'll make Wise very happy.
Now,
I will hear that when we record Mentality later today.
yeah, I know.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't
say
do it. Don't do it.
Don't
do it. Do not push that button. Speaking of buttons, I pushed the button of the roommate when I finally broke and told him I went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Oh, you didn't have tickets for that. You can't afford it. You don't have any money. You don't work. I am a working member of Chicago sports media, my friend.
Mhm.
He didn't believe me. So I showed him my pass
Mhm.
and told him, kiss the back of my ass. You don't have any work to do. That's why everybody pulls. That's why when you design websites, everybody pulls their support from you because you can't do it right.
Oh, so you mean tell me the way he designs websites, he takes a big fat juicy spectacular. And who wants to buy his services? That's cold, man. That's ice cold.
I've seen his work. Look, I've seen his work, and I ain't. I told him then when he tried to help me, and the son bitch hacked my website, and I lost access for a week, especially when I was covering baseball.
Oh, so you were like this after you heard him say, "Oh yeah, I'm a website designer."
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
I told him to his face, and he don't like that. He didn't like that. Think I cared? Think I gave 2 fifths of a half of a damn? I said, my friend, I can design a better website with you introducing me to WordPress and me getting the right plugins in less time. No, you can't because you don't know what coding is. I don't have to know what coding is. It's called drag and drop, you dumbass. Matter of fact, and I want Cole to push this button. There's a certain song that you put with purple and gold letters, and I want you to get ready to push that button and complete this sentence.
Well, before you do that, Snowman, sorry, I gotta take off, but I just want to say thank you again for having me on, guys. Tomorrow night, 7:00, no credentials required on YouTube and Facebook. 7 p.m. Eastern. Next week, we move to Mondays until Labor Day. So
okay, cool.
Oh, Mondays from now to Labor Day. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
We got
Dustin's bowling league is done as of this week, so we'll be switching up times.
Okay.
Sweet.
Well, join Ryan and Dustin.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan McCarthy. Coffee with McCarthy, presented by Invader Coffee, where the brew of the day once again is.
Crap, I forgot.
It had
Yes,
put cinnamon in it.
I put.
It's in you. It is you now. It will always be you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's Coffee with McCarthy.
Outsider blend. Outsider blend. Outsider blend. That's what
Outsider blend. That's Coffee with McCarthy with our brother Ryan McCarthy, aka Ryan McCarthy. Thank you, my friend. We love you and we appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
To complete this custom experience,
Mm-hmm.
when I challenged the roommate and told him I could build a website in less time,
Mm-hmm.
I took 2 of his clients and made $500.
Lord have mercy.
Close it.
That's sad.
He's a punk.
Well, that's obvious. I'm
He's
trying not to.
He's a punk.
Lord have mercy. That's sad. I can't
Yep.
believe. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Thank God it's over. Hour number 2 begins right now.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCarthy now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his 3rd year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2,
YSL.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now.
Welcome to hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson. I am joined by the Snowman.
You are an absolute genius with that intro, especially the end of it when you put words to Chris when you put visuals to Chris Base's words. Man, you are brilliant. You know that?
Thank you.
You know
that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And also, who's brilliant? Vicala. This is no Cole. The way the Voodoo does website design is one simple word.
Trays.
Use Cole, Victor. That's Cole, Victor. That is Cole.
Beautiful. Vicala. Man, we've had fun. We are having fun on this Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Yours truly out in Edinburgh, Indiana. And this is the only time I will come out this week because, and I left this cat in the bag for a reason, but I will let it out right now. There are 2 other television networks that are going to pick up our programming. One based out of Reno, Nevada, and the other, you ready for this?
You please.
Based out of Chicago, Illinois.
What?
CSTVnow.com is picking us up beginning 1 week from today,
So 24th.
which makes this the last one that I will do on the road because I got the equipment problem straight. I got the streaming problem straight, but I want to be impeccable. I want us to be impeccable with timing and everything when this television deal kicks into high gear and out of Chicago. They're picking up both of my shows. I'm going to try to get Cole Sports on there as well in Chicago. I'm going to try to get the Sports Senseis, any programming from Snowman Multimedia and Comey Media. I'm going to try to get on CSTV Now and Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. And I know I'm going to make Cole do a praise dance when I say this on CSTV Now, based out of Reno, Nevada. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson will be the, ready for this, first live program that they will pick up beginning next Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern. Hit it!
Oh yeah, that is some great news.
I've been working at it for a couple of weeks, and there's one person before we go to break and we come back with a dual Snowman stake because I want Cole to help me on that one. I teased it earlier. Coach Scott Fields, basketball savant extraordinaire, gave the leads. I contacted the people I needed to contact, and yeah, we're about to take off, brother. And let me thank those in charge at the BS3 network for being the first television network to pick up this show and air it and have it as their, let's see, what's the 5-letter word I'm looking for? Anchor to start their programming day each and every morning. And I'm looking to become an executive with BS3 Network. I hope to do that soon. Ben Sutter, I'm talking to you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, King Doc, and thank you to everyone, including the executive sitting to my right, Cole Johnson, for at BS3 Network for any and everything dealing with Snowman Multimedia Programming and Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. This has become this was my baby when I started it in 2013, but this baby's grown up now, and we are cultivating it. There are some sponsorships that are in place, and let me mention this. I came to this deal as well. I teased it last year. I can tease it again. Snowman in the Morning is brought to you in part by Black Lion Security. The pride of protection with the protection of pride. Man, oh man.
What's up, Charles?
We're growing. And when I asked Cole to be a part of this project, not only as my radio partner, but now the executive producer of Snowman in the Morning and the executive producer of programming on Snowman Multimedia, not only was he the right call, he was my only call. I knew it. I felt it. I went with my gut feeling. And Mr. Johnson, I love you. I thank you for taking this on. And my wife was worried about, how the program would be when I went under the knife last year. I said, "Baby, don't you worry. It's in great hands." And she saw she saw she saw a few of the episodes where you and Wise took over while I was recovering from surgery. Man, she just looked at me and said, "Great call." So you have the approval of my chief financial officer and one of my executives at Snowman Multimedia as well, my friend.
Yeah, I just wanted to do right by you because I know I have my own platforms.
Yep.
And so, I'm honored to join a platform, but I know that you created this, and I wanted to respect the property of what Snowman the Morning was. And yeah, I know I was going to put my own shine on it, but
yeah,
I didn't want to dominate it by be like, okay, well, this guy's gone. This is my stuff now. No, this is always born by your energy, and it was going to continue to be that, no matter how long you was going to be under the knife. So I was like, okay, well, we're just going to run it the way I believe is going to be for the betterment of the program, and that's how it was. And yes, we're going to talk about them in a minute, sir.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. We have to, sir.
Why? Who the hell cares?
Why? Unfortunately, there's a few. In fact, we'll do this now to get it out the way. So the game that ESPN.
Let me let you start it. I gotta take you know what? Let's take a quick break. I need about 4 minutes. Because my stomach's acting ugly. Y'all know about the stomach problems that have been lingering. So let's take 4 minutes. Then we'll come back and we will discuss not only the fakers, but my feelings and Cole's feelings that echo it on the state of the NBA. We're back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
That's why we here on this platform.
Marriage, a loving splendor, a daily grind. Such is the case when Damien and Jamie get together and chop it up, for marriage is real.
Let's just lay it all out here. Let's just be real with it.
Join this wonderful couple who keeps it real and always in love. BS3 Network proudly presents Marriage is Real, where love is the only thing that matters. Live every Tuesday at 8:30 Central. Oh, and Jamie has something to say.
Deuces and trays.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
And Lauren Harvey is for the streets, just so y'all know.
Lori Harvey is for the streets.
She's for the streets. She's for the streets, my guys.
Oh my gosh. Also, mentalities for the streets, but not in that vernacular. But the Tennessee 3. A certain journalist that Wise is going to go ham and be bizarre wise about. Tune in on a special Tuesday edition of Mentality. You can see it on the Comey Media Incorporated YouTube channel, as well as the Real Wise TV YouTube channel. And you'll catch the replay Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, on the BS3 network via Roku TV. We thank you for your support. And yes, Bizarre Wise only on Mentality.
With Mentality having a few episodes out there, I am proud to announce that beginning tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on Snowman Multimedia Sports Radio, Mentality will air 5 nights a week.
Yes.
So, and I absolutely love you. Thank you, Ryan McCoffey. I see that.
Yeah. Wise, aka F Boston.
Yep. I need to make a guest appearance on Mentality. You know, just to add a little to the fun. I mean, I don't know how y'all. I love Mentality. I absolutely love and adore that show.
It's
because you two have just like we have chemistry here on this show. You two have chemistry on Mentality that can't be matched.
Yeah, it's a true labor of love, man. When you get a chance to just chop it up with your brother, and you allow him to be him, and he allows you to be you. It just is a wonderful thing, and
it's beautiful.
Man, I love it.
It's beautiful, and it's y'all, and I am so excited to air it on my sports network 5 nights a week.
And we're thankful. Yes, we're thankful.
So. Listen, the launch of Snowman Multimedia Sports Radio will come your way today at 4 p.m. Eastern. You'll hear a repeat of today's show, Snowman in the Morning and the Brian Snow Show. And I got 2 versions of that, one at noon and one at 3. And, of course, you can catch a replay on WQEE at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then Mentality Strikes, 10 p.m. Eastern, 5 nights a week. I said 9, I meant 10 p.m. Eastern on Snowman Multimedia Sports Radio. And I will drop all kinds of links for that throughout the course of today and throughout the course of the week. Now, there's one sore subject we have to touch, and that's the Lakers winning in Memphis, 128-112. Memphis screwed up when they let the Lakers have any kind of confidence, because at halftime, it was 65-59 Memphis. John Morant goes down with an injury, and there was no backup.
I think that is what did it.
Same with Milwaukee. There was no backup, and you allowed a team like the Lakers that snuck into the 7th seed to have that kind of confidence to come all the way back, and not only come back from a 9-point deficit, because they trailed by 9 early in the second and third period, but to beat you by 16.
Yeah.
But to beat you by 16.
And you did this. It's similar as with the Timberwolves Nuggets game.
Yep.
It's similar to that. You get beat by double digits, and neither LeBron James nor Anthony Davis went ballistic. They had good games, but they didn't have one of those games where it's like, okay, they won on the strength of those two.
Yeah.
They did their part, but by no means were they the biggest contributing members, because actually that was Rui Hachimura off the bench. Rui Hachimura off the bench, and Austin Reeves.
Yep.
Hachimura scored 29. He pulled down 6 boards too. and Reeves chipped in with 23, and
If,
it was
if they
because
go
of
through if they go through Hachimura, they'll win that series because Anthony Davis didn't show anything.
they don't have an ass
LeBron James certainly, and for Hawk TV, listen to me carefully. LeBron James certainly didn't show anything, and he's not going to show anything. And I have a few reasons for that. I'll talk about that on Wednesday during hour 2.
But to be
But
fair,
I'm not being
Hawk
I'm not
TV
being fair.
Oh
I'm
no,
not
no,
being
no. But to be fair, Hawk TV, Yo King
sucks ass.
Did score 21 points, pulled down 11 boards, and gave you 5 dimes. However,
So what?
I will still
So
say,
the hell what?
I will still say, even with yesterday's game, and actually yesterday's game being huge time proof, you will have to win with him being Robin.
Mm-hmm. He's never been. I will save all that for Wednesday because
to win with him being Robin.
I'll save all that for Wednesday. But I will say this. I got into a tete-a-tete with some people on Facebook after I went on strike for the weekend with Facebook. I decided to come back and post something. And I said Joel Embiid will never put it all together. And Joel Embiid fanalists went ballistic.
Well, they're going to go even more ballistic because he's probably going to win MVP this year. So you're going to have that, and you're going to say, well, you can't put it all together.
Don't ever cuss in my ear. Don't ever cuss in my ear again.
No, that'll be the NBA curse in your ear.
I know. They don't want Jokic to win 3 in a row. They don't want Jokic to be do what Larry Bird did and win 3 in a row.
And in my
84,
opinion,
84, 85, 86. For those of you that don't do research, look it up.
And in my opinion, that game they played against the Celtics where Embiid went ballistic, scored 52 points, I was like, okay, so that pretty much would be your campaign speech.
That's the show off game.
Yeah.
That's the show off game.
Yeah.
For Embiid to win MVP, and against my wishes, he's probably going to win MVP. You're right about that.
Yeah.
But
now,
go ahead.
No, I'm saying now Anthony Davis, who I really believe has to go through him.
It must.
It must go through him. Yes, I know he went down for a bit. He came back,
and it's not going to go. It's not going to go through him. I will guarantee you.
The reason why I still feel as though the Grizzlies have this in the bag, and I'm not saying 5 or 6. It actually might go 7.
It's going to go all the way. It's going to go all 7.
It's because, to me, this team doesn't fully back wanting to be saying, okay, well, Anthony Davis, this is your team. We ride your shoulders. 22 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, good stat line. But in order for them to win these types of games, either you're going to have to get the big time contribution for others, or you got to have Davis play bigger than he did yesterday.
Because Davis didn't do much.
No,
I'll say it aloud. He didn't do a damn thing.
No. And look, credit the Lakers for being strong on defense in the second half. Because I guaranteed if you had Jackson go for 31, Bain go for 22, and Bruce go for 15, and they can find offense anywhere else besides Morant, because he more than likely will not be playing in game 2 at least.
No.
112 points is good enough for the Grizzlies to win just about every other game in this series.
Yeah.
So just don't.
That's frightening to me.
Yeah.
That is frightening to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for them to have Morant go down. So the Grizzlies have to play the game of their life without Morant in game 2.
They got to.
Them to even the series and have a chance in this series.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a couple of teaser opinions that I will do a full take on. I'll do a full take on not only this afternoon, but I want you to plug this in for tomorrow's show.
Oh Lord.
The play-in tournament needs to go.
Oh, okay. Well, before you launch into that,
yep.
This quick break is brought to you by Clearwater Laxative. When things get muddy, Clearwater is your buddy. Clearwater Laxative.
Oh
And
dear.
in the new colon cleanse.
Dear me. Dear God. All right.
Vicola.
Oh no.
Snowman Braun lover being a hater again.
Oh, y'all ain't seen hate yet.
And
I'll say that right now. Y'all ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
in the Playmakers Blog Network.
What's up, Playmaker?
Always joining us every Monday, and he will
Yep.
be joining us
He will join us.
on camera
He'll join us
Tuesday.
tomorrow.
He says
Playmaker Tuesday. I love it.
Yes, and I agree with you, Playmaker. The Sixers do on the Nets. Six says, look, the only problem for Joel Embiid is a cornrow sporting Bush face obstruction of a point guard for a teammate. Who could you?
I wonder who that is. I absolutely wonder who that is. Darvin Ham is going to ride Yo Kang like he's in the
like he's in Blazing Saddles.
Hey, the sheriff is a ding ding ding.
Oh my God.
No, dang blame it. The sheriff is a ding. One of the greatest scenes in a movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll save the Snowman's take for tomorrow about my opinion of the NBA playoffs. But I got a friend named Derek Molas who played at Loyola University. And what I said about Embiid has nothing to do with his physical ability.
Yeah, he's
okay.
He's a really
I've said this for years. He's a fabulous physical specimen and a fabulous basketball player, except for one key piece.
HEALTH. Health.
Actually, you mentioned the second piece. The first piece is up here, in between the ears.
Yeah, the mental struggle is real. Yeah.
Is the mental struggle of Joel Embiid is real. Okay? And I think we have our friend here. So I will save that for tomorrow. And we're going down to Carolina.
Yes, we are.
Ivy now joins us from Carolina to talk some sports with us as he does every Monday at this time, bottom of hour 2. Good morning, Jay. How are you, brother?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. The most incompetent sentence I will ever speak for the next 2 weeks. The Carolina Panthers are on the clock.
Now it seems like they have their man.
All right. So do you think they're actually going to go with Bryce Young? That's the issue and the question.
Sounds like to me. And it sounds like that's been their man all along.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say something that's going to piss off a lot of fans, but I don't care. I've said this about who are going to be the top 2 picks in the NFL draft in 2 weeks' time. And it's a simple sentence that says Bryce Young is not ready.
Well, I don't think any of them are ready.
Can you say that again, please? Can you say that again, brother?
Whether it be Young, Stroud, Richardson, or Levis, none of them are ready.
Yeah, I don't think they're ready either. I mean, I don't think they will game 1 in the second weekend in September climb the center and give you a wonderful performance. Yes, I agree with you. None of them are.
These guys aren't Peyton Manning or Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or
Joe Burrow.
Burrow. I don't know how I forgot him. But I mean, these guys aren't these guys.
These guys are not These guys are not ready. They've never been ready. The only reason, and Jay, you can back me up on this because we've talked about it for 2 years. The only reason they're getting so much hype right now, one game for Bryce Young, and that came against Georgia. That came against Georgia in Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the SEC championship, where he lit up Georgia for 400 yards. And the one game for CJ Stroud also came against Georgia, and that came in a national semifinal. But here's the problem. Bryce Young had a chance to repeat the performance against the Dogs in the national championship game, and he came up short. CJ Stroud had a fabulous game against Georgia, but the same result. They lost
to the Dogs.
They lost to Georgia. Both of them lost to Georgia. And in terms of Bryce Young came up short in that game entirely when Alabama supposedly had the best offense in the nation. And on 3 trips into the red zone, their first 3 trips, what happened? They were held to field goals.
Well,
they were held to field goals.
As I've said on this show many times, even though I live in North Carolina, I watch almost every Alabama game. And I like him as a quarterback, but he is prone to being injured. He's small, he's short, and I keep hearing people say, "Well, yeah, Drew Brees is short too." Well, Drew Brees hardly ever got hurt until the end of his career. I know he had that shoulder injury early in his career, but he more than overcame that.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is Drew Brees played 4 years at Purdue,
and
that's got to have something to do with it.
And Brees, unlike Bryce Young, Brees was really smart in the pocket. Young likes to think that he is a hybrid,
and he's not,
and that's going to get him in trouble.
I keep hearing people say he's a shorter version of Mahomes. No, he's not.
No, hell no.
So, I'm sorry. Whoa. A shorter version of Patrick Mahomes. Lord have mercy.
Why you lying? Why you always lying?
Go ahead, Jay.
How can that come out of anybody's mouth who calls himself an expert?
Listen,
100,
Jay,
thank you.
Jay, you and I have dealt with the same quote unquote experts when I lived in North Carolina, and I first got introduced to Jay by a certain certain Homer who hooked us up, and I am so happy he did, because when I pulled my show from his network, Jay immediately got a hold of me and he said, "I still have a spot on your show, right?" Damn straight. I'm not pulling that. Jay has said so many times over that these quarterbacks that think they're hybrids are not hybrids. They are incomplete products of what they are supposed to be. And I'll echo another statement that Jay said. The worst coached position in the 21st century is quarterback. And it's the most critical position it's the most critical position, not only on an offense, but on the field. And it's coached horribly. There's a couple quarterbacks at East Forsyth High School that are supposed to be so hyped and supposed to be so good. And I listened to some broadcasts of East Forsyth High School, and I'm not hating to say this. The way they play quarterback is preposterous.
Let me tag before Jay speaks. Let me tag that, because I totally agree with that, Jay. The quarterback position is getting coached worse and worse by the year.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
And if you hear on the broadcast, or you hear all sports shows or talk shows, you would think that the offensive coordinator is like the or even the quarterback coach is even a higher level than the head coach these days. But it's just so, nobody is taught to throw or stay in the pocket anymore. They all start running.
They are not taught to climb the pocket either.
Progressions are optional.
Progressions are going through your progressions are a thing of the past now. If you look at the way the quarterback position is played,
riding the side.
Look, some of these guys barely know how to even throw a ball, let alone be a quarterback.
Do we mention Cameron Jarrell Newton here? Do we
RPO in the house, baby.
insert Kyler Murray here? Do we insert Zach Wilson here?
I don't mention that former number one with the Panthers on my show.
No,
please don't. You mean the man who
had a second pro day?
Yeah, the man whose ego is so big that he needed 2 pro days in his career.
His career is over.
Over. It was over after Super Bowl 50.
He's not.
And I said that here. I said that on this platform the day after Super Bowl 50 in 2016 that Cameron Jarrell Newton's career is over. And I got drilled.
If we didn't think it was over at Super Bowl, it certainly was 7 months later.
Yep. And I got drilled on social media. And people say, oh, he's just getting started. His career's done. His career is absolutely finito.
When the Panthers stupidly re-signed him a couple of years ago, and everybody
Oh,
thought
God.
all these quote-unquote Panthers fans thought it was the greatest thing in the world. How'd that work out?
It did.
Well, let me see. That one victory in the desert followed by a whole ton of crap after that.
Absolute garbage. And that's absolutely the quarterback, the position of quarterback in general, number one. Number two, it's these names that are supposed to be high-level quarterbacks in this year's draft, and they all suck. All right? I'm going to come out and say it. They all suck. And the Texans, the Panthers, whomever's at the top that are looking at these quarterbacks, Richardson, Young, Stroud, have only had one showcase game to see who they are. And truth be told, these quarterbacks have not had consistent college careers, Jay.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
No, so
You want to look at
there.
the top four quarterbacks. If you want to say that, and I put that in quotes, top 4 quarterbacks: Levis, Young, Stroud, and for God's sake, Richardson. They're putting Richardson. They're putting
in the top half of the first round.
Freaking Richardson in the top half of the first round. And
Listen,
Anthony.
guys, I saw a mock draft a week or two ago. They had the top 4. They had the top 4 picks as being quarterbacks. That tells you how desperate these coaches are needing teams are needing quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Forget
it not only desperate.
They're talking about the top 4 or 5 picks here.
They're not just desperate. If there's a word that's beyond desperate, I'd love to know what that word is, because that's how these coaches are handling it. The Panthers, the Texans, dear God, the Texans. We'll get into that tomorrow. And they project Anthony Richardson. Listen to this name again, folks. Anthony freaking Richardson to be a top 4 pick. The man who banged a football off of a catwalk.
And he thinks he's the best quarterback in the draft.
The young man, bless his heart.
He's getting hyped like it is, though.
The young man, bless his heart again, who isn't ready, who should stay another year.
I agree.
To refine the position and get back into playing old school quarterback, who banged the football off of the catwalk. Who banged the football off of the catwalk.
And played on a very mediocre team.
Oh, thank you. Say that again, Jay, please.
Played on a very mediocre team.
Very mediocre.
Yeah, you know about that, right, Playmaker?
And the only reason that C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are being hyped as the top 2 quarterbacks is because they are the most accomplished. When the 2 best quarterbacks that should be at the top of the draft are the 2 quarterbacks who, I don't know, played each other for a national championship.
About Duggan and Stetson, and Stetson Bennett and
Max Duggan.
And Stetson Bennett ain't getting a sniff of
Ain't
that type of consideration.
Here's what I'm looking at. Here's how I'm projecting. I don't do mock drafts.
And 100, Victor. 100.
Thank you, Victor. The coaches are not evaluating their own quarterbacks. They don't want to evaluate their own quarterbacks because they don't want to tell these guys the truth. They don't want to tell them you're not ready. You need a year or 2 more of seasoning. Right. When all these coaches want to do are win national championships and then usher their quarterbacks off to the NFL or whatever league picks them up, and they get absolutely clobbered. They get clobbered. Okay? The 2 quarterbacks that should be at the top, and I know Jay will agree with me. Cole, I know you'll agree with me. Ryan, Victor, everybody else will agree with this statement that I'm going to say. The 2 quarterbacks that should be getting a sniff of what they can do in the league, in the National Football League, are going to be at the bottom of the draft because all these stupid-ass mock drafts are keeping their stock low. And the 2 quarterbacks that should be at the top of the draft are Stetson Bennett and Max Duggan. Why? If you want to base it on accomplishments, you can put it in one simple sentence. They played each other for a national championship.
Yep.
And Stetson Bennett not only won the national championship, he won 2 consecutive national championships. And in both games, Indianapolis, Indiana, Los Angeles, California, he was the, say it with me, offensive most valuable player in both games. And yet they have Bennett projected as a 3rd rounder. And what's worse, the guy who I believe should have won the Heisman, Max Duggan, they have him projected even lower.
I'm going to take this even another step further.
Please do.
Y'all think this is a frenzy this year with quarterbacks? Wait till next year.
Yeah, next year.
Oh my God.
And that's talking
Jesus.
The best 2 quarterbacks in college football are draft ineligible this year. Not even close. With Caleb Williams and Drake May, they are by far the 2 best quarterbacks.
Yes.
You think it's a frenzy this year? Wait till next year.
Oh, next year is going to be nuts.
And that's the
next
talk
year's going to be nuts.
That's the talk around the Texans. They're thinking, should we get one of the 2 that's the biggest quarterback prospects this year, or should we trade for more picks, be horrible, and hope for one of those wonderful studs next?
That might be the route to go because
it might be.
And honestly,
it might be.
I know that's obviously the position to take if you have to have a quarterback.
Yeah.
But in my humble opinion, the best player in next year's draft is a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Bowers. Is incredible.
Brock Bowers
is incredible.
See, let me ask this question to you, Jay, because you're in tune with college football. Cole, I know you are as well. We talk about it all the time on this program. Why did Brock Bowers not get a sniff of a Heisman Trophy vote when he was clearly the best player in the game the last 2 years?
It's the quarterback, running back.
Yeah, quarterback, running back consideration. And it's unfortunate.
Receiver.
Yeah, the receiver has to have a ridiculous amount of yardage and touchdowns, probably. But yeah,
Brock Bowers is the best But Brock Bowers is the best damn player. Isn't that what the Heisman Trophy is all about?
No arguments with either one of us on that. You get no arguments out of either one of us on that.
The dude is an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope
I saw a mock draft last night that had him going 5th next year. 5th?
fifth. I saw a mock draft. He was going even lower. This gets on my nerve of how they rank players. And all these. This is why I don't do mock draft.
Well, you know how I've talked about the Panthers in the past about how they have not had a tight end since Olsen. But
Right.
if you look around the NFL, most of the good teams have really good tight ends. Look, example A. Look at the Chiefs, who have by far the best tight end.
Yeah, and Travis Kelce. Right.
Kelsey's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mahomes relies on him so much. But if you look, some of the worst teams don't have any tight end. So if you need a tight end, who better to get than Brock Bowers?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And he's not going to get a sniff of the Heisman next year. The Bulldogs are loading up for a 3rd consecutive national championship. And yes, I'm going to say it here. I pose the question, can they win? Can they make it 3 in a row and get to Houston? I believe they can.
They probably can.
If Southern Cal has a 10-2, 11-1 type year, which they're capable of, even though they're in a terrible conference, Caleb Williams is going to run away with the Heisman.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yep. I believe it. I believe it. Caleb Williams is going to run. He's going to unfairly run away. He's going to unfairly run away with the Heisman, even though Brock Bowers is the best player in college football. Part 1, part 2, Georgia is probably going to gear up for another undefeated run and another run at the national championship. And Caleb Williams, I mean, stud quarterback. Don't get it twisted. Stud quarterback. But he's sticking around to get some better development and really be ready to take on the rigors of the NFL.
There are plenty enough sports writers out there who have North Carolina ties who are going to vote for Drake May. Drake May, and listen, I am far from a Carolina fan.
Right.
Drake May is good. Drake May is really good.
He is. And he transferred, didn't he, to Notre Dame?
No, he originally committed to Alabama. Then he decommitted and went to Carolina.
Okay. So with us dropping all of this, the hypocrisy of mock drafts is very, very real. The bias of the hypocrisy of mock drafts are very, very real. And with all of this that we hear in the media about who's going here and who's going there, that's one of the main reasons I don't do mock drafts and never will. Because it's like Chris Dietz pointed out, it's too much of a crapshoot.
Well, the way everybody's going gaga over these quarterbacks this year, I just don't get it. It just tells you how hot a commodities they are.
And they're not ready.
And Cole, like you just said with the Texans, they're probably better off just tanking this year and going for a better quarterback next year.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them being Drake May, like you said, Caleb Williams being the other. And we don't know who's going to rise out of nowhere, because you could have a quarterback that could come out of nowhere.
Very true.
Because as of right now, it's Drake for next year. It's Drake May and Caleb Williams. They're the two best quarterbacks, and they're doing the right thing and staying put and developing more. Okay.
Well, in May's case, he has to. He just finished his 2nd year.
Yes.
Right.
So you got to stay 3 years. You got to be there.
Wait, it's not May who transferred. It's Sam Hartman who transferred. Did he not?
Sam transferred from Wake Forest to Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's Sam Hartman who transferred to Notre Dame. Okay, I wanted to make sure I got my quarterbacks correct here as I'm looking here on my notes. Is Sam Hartman going to be worth it after this coming year after 2 years at Wake Forest? I believe 2 years at Wake Forest, and this coming year at Notre Dame.
4 years at Wake Forest.
Oh, he played forward Wake Forest. He's playing a 5th year. Okay, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for that. This is why I'm going to stay at home beginning tomorrow, so I can have all of my notes in front of me. Is Sam Hartman going to be worth it next year after next year at Notre Dame?
Listen, I'm fully admit I'm a Wake Forest fan, but I'm not a homer.
Right.
Sam Hartman, what he did for Wake Forest was incredible.
Yes.
However,
Mm-hmm.
he has limitations.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest guy in the world.
Nope.
As I told somebody yesterday, I was talking. Actually, amazingly enough, I had brunch with an NFL scout yesterday.
That's
and he and I were talking about this exact thing, and I think he's the key on receivers and tight ends a little too much, and
Okay.
he's prone to throw an interception or get fumbled on a sack a lot. So we'll see how he is. We'll see how he is at Notre Dame. I don't know how it'll work, and ironically, Wake Forest is playing up there this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But
Sam
I don't know that he's going to be the greatest thing in the world. He's going to get a lot of publicity just because he's at Notre Dame.
Man, Sam Hartman, 6'1", 215, has a Gator Bowl co-MVP to his credit. He has the Gasparilla Bowl MVP to his credit. Incredible offensive numbers. But as you said, Jay, lot of fumbleitis, lot of prone to be throwing interceptions. And if you want to encapsulate, and I'm not being a homer, I'm not being a negative Nancy, I'm just looking at the facts. You want to capsulize Sam Hartman in 2 games? Look at the 2 games he played against North Carolina.
Oh yes, I'm glad you brought that up because I was getting ready to say it. He had a chance to march down the field and beat North Carolina because I was at the game.
Mm-hmm.
Looked terrible on the last drive.
Look at the 2 games he played against North Carolina when on both occasions, Jay, you were there, I was there from a distance. Wake Forest led Carolina in both games by 20-plus points, both times. And in both games, they wound up giving up 58 points.
Because their defense was atrocious.
Their defense was atrocious, and North Carolina's defense kept Sam Hartman, A, off the field, or B, under pressure.
And Drake May lit him up, too.
They lit him up. And Sam Hartman, at least for now, the way I'm looking, and Jay, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Sam Hartman does not respond well to being under pressure when the pocket collapses.
Well, we're going to see this year because Notre Dame's offense is completely different than Wake Forest's offense. So we're going to see how he does in this offense.
Yeah, we definitely are. We got a few minutes left, but that's Jay Spivey and the Spivey Notes joining us this morning, presented by Invader Coffee and also presented by SeatGeek. Use the code official SIT morning. You get $20 off of your very first purchase. Go to SeatGeek.com. Use the code official SIT morning. And for your very first purchase, you get some money. You get some money back, and you find the seats that you want. Thank you, Jay, very much. We'll talk to you next week, and we're loading up toward the draft. And I'd love for you to join us on our coverage of said draft, my friend.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, man. Love talking sports with folks that come on, men and women that come on this show and know their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Spivey is one of those. Playmaker is one. Ryan McCoffey is one. Ben Sutter, as you often say, is one as well, but he knows his stuff. King Dog, and thank you to everyone, men and women alike, that come on this show and bring it. Mike Debate, our senior NFL analyst, Mike DeBate, who is going to be, oh my God, I'm so excited to say this, in his 7th season with us and with all programs, Snowman Multimedia and Comey Media. I will hook you two up with contact information so you can bring him on your show as well, Cole. I owe you that. Same with you, Ryan McCoffey. Mike DeBate is a very, very dear friend. I got to tell this story. When I was doing the show for full press coverage, and I hope to hook back up with them soon, I was introduced to Mike, and the very first time Mike came on felt like just like a regular interview. Since then, and I was in Terre Haute, Indiana. I was up in Chicago at the time. Since then, it's been so much fun to have him on. It has not been just an interview. It's like two brothers coming together to talk football. And Mike's been there for me personally and professionally through everything, through me getting married, my cancer surgery, just like you, Cole. And I appreciate you both. So Mike DeBate's going to be with us for season number 7. And we got to light him up with an intro too when we bring him on, and light it up this year when we do our picks, man.
Yeah,
because we plan to make a whole bunch of money doing that. And I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you for all the buttons that you push, the right buttons that you push, especially on an occasion like today when I'm on the road. And to everyone that has helped out, Wise El Jefe, man, I personally cannot thank y'all enough for everything that you do for this program. I can't thank you enough.
No. Well, I can't speak for anyone else. I can never speak for myself. Look, it's a labor of love, and I mean, we love to talk about sports, and we love doing it with a person I highly love and respect. So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. And whatever I could do to help contribute, help make it better, or help make it different, or help make it unique, I'm more than glad, and more than capable, and more to task to do it.
Man, you have added so much, and you put order into this program. That has been the key element that's been missing. So I cannot thank you enough, because every morning you send me the whip around. I have a chance to make some graphics for it, get it out there, and that was one of the key pieces I was missing, because I would write notes, but I wouldn't put them in time order. Well, I did once upon a time, but I stopped it because I got so overwhelmed with everything. And then I bring you aboard, and then the chat lights up. We have plenty of people that tune in. And brother, I cannot thank you enough for bringing. You didn't even restore order. You brought the order.
Yeah.
And I can't thank you enough for that. Jody and I cannot thank you enough for that, because she's a big part of this empire too.
Mm-hmm.
When she gives me timely advice, and she's not a sports nerd like I, but she does bring me some timely, very, very, very timely advice, as do you.
Mm-hmm.
And the one piece of advice y'all kept hammering in my head: go with one brand and stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
So Snowman Multimedia is the brand, and yes, I have Snowman Multimedia Sports and Sports Radio, but the main brand is Snowman Multimedia. I can't thank you enough for that advice. That's the brand I'm going with. That's the one I registered with the government for tax ID purposes, and that's the one that we're going to publish the entire time. And I have a bone to pick with you.
You talking to
Don't
me?
you start. I have a bone to pick with you.
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking about you.
All right.
On the mentality episode, you pulled my network from your promo. Why'd you do that? What for you do that, man?
I have to show love to other places too.
I know. I'm picking at you. I'm picking at you. I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. I know you entirely too well, and I knew that was the reason. That was the reason you did that. But just know it's going to repeat on Snowman Multimedia Sports Radio 5 nights a week, beginning tonight.
Well, again, honored, man. If you were to tell me 3 months ago that I'd be part of another show where people actually would like what the content's about, and it would gather the interest that it has, that it already is on TV, it's on multiple YouTube channels, I would tell you that you're crazy, but here it is.
If you were to have told me a year ago that Snowman in the Morning, a project that sprung out of a dare, someone dared me back home, put your opinions out there, and I use a mixer, a laptop, and a headset mic to start it, and it only ran an hour at the time, that it would be on television, and it would be on Roku, and it would be on demand. I thought y'all were nuts, but it happened. A year ago it happened, and now we're going to be picked up by 2 other networks. One based out of my hometown. I can't say thank y'all enough for pushing us to make this better. And we are going to make it better. And next Monday, the second network, CSTV Now, picks us up out of Reno, Nevada. And it's going to be fun. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
moon him. Oh, I'm so sorry. Then they're not big enough.
I'll moot you. Dream big, do bigger. Dream big, do bigger. We are. We hope y'all are too. I will be back home tomorrow, and back home for the time being, while we get everything together to make sure we run on time and to make sure the audio runs on time. And thank you to the folks at WLEO 26.7 Digital Media out of Baltimore, Maryland, for being another network that picks us up. We are out of here. See you tomorrow.
Oh, so you gonna be back home starting tomorrow?
I will be back.
Peace.